What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back at it again with another banger from my people. Y'all know the vibes by now, fam. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. So, one of the top scorers in all of women's college basketball, one half of the dynamic duo out of Vanderbilt, an SEC, all SEC type level, all conference type level, all American type level player, averaged over 20 points per game. Khamil Pierre, half of the dynamic duo for the Vanderbilt Commodores with Michaela Blakes, the highest scoring duo in women's college hoops, have broken up. She has decided, and Vanderbilt have decided to, it seems like for right now, mutually part ways. It's been a weird situation, but all this seems to stem over NIL and her wanting more of that paper. So back in April, it was reported there was some tampering from another SEC school that was trying to pay her the big bucks to get a forward that could do it all and really upgrade a roster potentially. And really, I mean, for a contender, she's a piece that could put you over the edge. So it all started with the tampering, and she came out with this and kind of put everything to bed, saying that she was committed to Vandy. Pierre said back in April on social media, "I've taken time to reflect, pray, and talk with the people I trust most, and I've come to a place of peace and clarity. I believe in the vision Coach Ralph and Coach Tom have for me and this program. From day one, they've seen me as more than just a basketball player. They've loved and supported me as a person, which means everything to me. Coach Ralph and Coach Tom have guided me with so much care and patience through my first 2 years of college. Their leadership on and off the court has helped me grow in ways I never imagined. As a player, yes, but even more as a young woman finding her way. They are two of the sharpest basketball minds I've ever been around, and I feel lucky to learn from them every day. As well as our athletic trainer, Allison Shepard, I know that at Vanderbilt I have everything I need to become the best version of myself, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Coach Ralph and her staff are building something truly special here in Nashville. Being a part of this program means more to me than just basketball. It's about the foundation we're laying for the future. I want to leave a legacy that lasts, and I believe with Coach Ralph and this team, we have a real chance to do that together. With that being said, I will not be entering the transfer portal. Here's to another year." This was back in April, man. And Vandy was special this year, man. They won some big games and did some things that they hadn't done in quite some time, sweeping Tennessee, like winning that rivalry, establishing that they're not the doormat of the SEC and that they are a serious contender. They were coming in with the talent to be a top 10 team preseason nationally next year, and were a dark horse, in my opinion, to win the SEC and potentially make some noise in the SEC tournament along with the along with the NCAA tournament. And Pierre, man, is a walking bucket. We know her game. She is just one of the smoothest, high IQ, fundamentally sound forwards in the league, man. And honestly, just looking at her game, she can get to the cup, elite mid-range game, plays bigger than she is at 6'2", 6'3", like plays bigger than that. Has a really nice fadeaway game, nice mid-range game, nice face-up game, can extend the three, can handle the basketball. Just a true three-level scorer that is capable of getting her shot off against any type of level of competition. She finishes through contact. She is one of the purest forwards in the country. She might be the best forward returning at her position. We could debate her and Sarah Strong all day. But just seeing how she impacts the game, not only with her scoring, but you got to look at it. She averaged 9.6 rebounds per game as well, almost a double-double, and 2.1 assists. At 6'2", she plays a lot bigger than that. Her first 2 years have been extremely productive. Vanderbilt has built something special and established a foundation for them to build upon. So I'm actually truly shocked by this, man, because she's getting all the looks, all the green lights, and she had such sentimental words for this program, and it seemed like she was 100% committed. And then you shift over a couple of months, and this is released by the team. Vanderbilt women's basketball head coach Shay Ralph announced Monday that rising junior Khamil Pierre is no longer a member of the program. Khamil, quote, is a great player, and I have no doubt she will have success in the future. Ultimately, it was determined it would be best for Khamil and our program to go in different directions. We wish her the best of luck. They're banking it all on Michaela Blakes. Now, this is something of a sign of NIL, maybe some tampering like we mentioned, where NIL, man, there's some positive. These athletes deserve their funds, but like we saw with Nico, the quarterback that left Tennessee and went over to UCLA and took a pay cut, it's not always greener on the other side. I mean, Lenore Sellers turned down like $8 million to stay in South Carolina and to keep his comfort, his place, earn his money, but also protect his game, his peace, and just his reputation. Now we're in a position where she could end up sitting out a year, one of the best players in all women's college basketball, over a few dollars. Now, this is what we know so far. Several Power 4 schools have already shown interest. We know there are several that are definitely still rebuilding. NC State being one of them. They lose Madison Hayes, who graduated, and they could use a big at the 4 spot to replace some of that production to help this team continue to transcend into what they want, a potential national championship. Now, some outliers. There's a BYU connection. The Cougars just hired Pierre's high school coach, Andrew Curtis, as an assistant. And that would be pairing Pierre with the Big 12 Freshman of the Year, Delaney Gibb. That could be another dynamic duo if she wants to walk on there. Also, Pepperdine, her AAU coach is now on that staff as well. We know that any of these teams would absolutely take her without a doubt. Now, this rift, like we said, could have been over NIL, and the fact that the June 30th cutoff date was the date that they announced that she would no longer be on the team. It was the last day before the NCAA's House versus NCAA settlement officially took effect, suggesting this exit may not be a coincidence. The House settlement, effective July 1st, is already rewriting how schools can compensate athletes. NIL collectives are shrinking, third-party payments are under scrutiny, those big companies, those big boosters, and new rules now require any NIL deal worth more than $600 to go through the NCAA's new clearinghouse. Front Office Sports reported that schools and collectives were front-loading NIL payments ahead of the July 1st change, paying athletes early to avoid compliance hurdles, getting them their checks early. If Pierre's camp and Vanderbilt disagreed on her compensation, the looming regulation shift may have triggered the exit. All about them dollar bills, man. She is an Arizona native, so just seeing those West Coast schools being in the running will not be a surprise. Now, there are some loopholes to where she won't have to sit out a year, and we could see her back on the court. She could transfer to another school and be a walk-on and collect her NIL that way. She could be compensated by the revenue sharing made possible by the House settlement. The NCAA may grant Pierre a waiver to transfer and play immediately if Vanderbilt removed her from the team. But if it was Pierre's decision to bounce on them, the NCAA may not be empathetic when granting a waiver, and we know they have been tough with those in the past. And we will just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But this is a major shockwave throughout the SEC and for Vanderbilt basketball, a team that was expected to compete for not only a SEC title but potentially a national title, and had boasting back one of the best duos, if not the best and most productive duos in women's college hoops, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. That is a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. This is the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Until next time, my people, we out.